Hi, this is Chef Z Carter here, and I am coming to you from the Kitchen Cooking School in downtown Leesburg. And our book review for this month is going to be Quick and Simple by Jacques Pépin. And I thought, you know what, as I'm preparing myself, I might as well let you guys in on the action. Because I always say, look, I'm part Martha Stewart, part Rachel Ray. And the Martha Stewart is probably me just wishing I was as organized as she was. But the Rachel Ray is what people normally see. So, like me cutting open my thing with my knife here. So some home cooks are probably going, oh my God. Okay, I'll make it not as bad. I'll use my bread knife. So I have my noodles here. We're gonna do a recipe from Jacques' cookbook, and it's rice stick noodles with mushrooms. I'm loving these like vegetarian or veggie recipes. So I got these stir fry or ribbon noodles. I love this brand because they're like already done. So all you have to do is really just soak these. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna open up the other one here.
You find those
in the international section.
On the shelf?
Yep, on the shelf. They're like kind of towards the bottom because they're packets, you know, so it's towards the bottom. So I boiled some water, or boiling water. And we're gonna let these noodles soak in the water while we cook. It says for about 15 minutes, so that gives those noodles time to just separate and reheat themselves because they're already done. And then I'm gonna take apart told you get to see everything. That was even the best part of me. Put this over here. We don't need that anymore.
They couldn't see it, they just heard that.
Oh, they just hear it? Okay. Made a mess. Having fun. So this is what happens when you're trying to get it together. So thought we'd go ahead and do this. I love this book. It is exactly what it says it is. It is quick and simple. If you're someone who likes to cook like that, you want an easy weeknight meal or a special meal, you're inviting someone over for dinner and you're not the most awesomest of cook, this is your book. This is good. Now, I found out, because I always like to do a little research on my author, and I found out that this actually is a retitle of an earlier book. So the book before, grab my notes here, was The Shortcut Cook. The Shortcut Cook, it was 1990 circa. So you might be able to still find that. The person who was commenting about that, this is a retitle, was telling the difference between the two books. There's a few recipes that he left out. There's a few ingredient changes that were left out as well. But for the most part, the newer book is always better. He breaks the chapters down a little bit more. They're more organized. Each recipe starts on one page versus back then, you know, they would do a recipe and wherever it ended, that's where the new one would start. So sometimes you'd be flipping pages. Remember that? You would flip pages. So this book, it almost doubled in size because it starts a new page. Plus, he added artwork along with the pictures of the recipes in here. So there is a lot of new things about this. I did order this book for myself, so I have one coming. I told you if I really, really like it, I take it in quick and simple, quick and easy, anything like that, and tasty is all me all day long. I'm going to be for it. So I had to get this. Also, I don't know if many people know that Jacques did a lot of cooking with his best friend Julia. Jacques and Julia all the time. So they were together a lot. And so, you know, a lot of his cooking, you can see little nuances of her, I think, in the recipes, because he has one chapter in here where he's cooking peas. And I think I could always remember, I can't remember the recipe, but I remember her cooking peas. And I kept thinking, why does she keep saying please? Because peas, you know. So when I saw him do the peas, you know, he even has black-eyed peas and hams, but where is it here? I'm gonna find it somewhere. But he makes the peas, it's coming. At least fricassee of peas with ham. So, and then he has the classic pearl onions and peas, but with cream sauce. So I like this book too, because if you are bored with every day, you know, you can only have rice so many ways. You can only have peas so many ways. Then this is going to be the perfect book, because this is going to bring back some classics, and it's also going to update some things for you. Okay, so back to, you know, we talked about being the shortcut cook. The recipes are great, and if you are getting bored with sides, and you think you've eaten, like I said, rice a couple different ways, you've eaten peas 1,000 different ways, Jacques reminds you of some classic and sometimes some updated recipes. The pearl onions and cream sauce. How many times, you know, I've just been like throwing my peas, steaming them, throwing a little spice on them, and here you guys go, you know, or I throw some butter on them or something like that. But I haven't thought about making any cream sauce, pearl onions. So I like that. Even this one, you know, anytime I see somebody cooking lettuce or doing something with lettuce, I'm intrigued. Iceberg and garlic saute.
Oh.
Right? So, yeah, so that piqued my interest. Basic boiled potatoes. How about your parsley potatoes with butter? If you are not a cook or you are just getting started, this book is going to be perfect, because even simple recipes. I had someone call me the other night and say, how do you make rice? I didn't laugh at them. I carefully guided them and let them know the rice rule. 2 cups of water to every cup of rice, you know, so when you're cooking white rice, that is. So, you know, just little things like that. So that's another thing that this book is going to bring back. There is a lot of recipes in here. But this book is broken down into chapters that we can all appreciate. The basics, appetizers and salads, soups, breads, pizzas, hot sandwiches are one. Pasta and rice, legumes and vegetables, shellfish and fish, eggs, poultry and meat, and my favorite, desserts. So I like it. Like I said, the artwork is so cute. Isn't this cute? This should be an apron. And then this book, he actually dedicated it to his daughter, Claudine. So where's that picture? Jacques and Claudine, that's his daughter. His wife passed some years back. So when I say artwork, like, look at this. Isn't that lovely? And just, you know, he's French, So if we haven't figured that out by now, for those who may not know, when I hear French chef, I think complicated, long, exhausting, forget it, you know, very intimidating. And this book is the exact polar opposite. And he has some recipes like fricassee and things like that you're going to hear in French cooking and things like that, but they're easy in here, you know, with the peas and the ham. That is so easy, you know. I don't think there's a coq au vin recipe in here. We know that's not quick. But then also, with his French cooking, he also goes into other genres of cooking or invites other foods, like the one that we're going to do today. This is the rice noodles. They're known for being Japanese. And the mushrooms, so I have shiitake mushrooms. And the recipe is just real simple. And it's actually called rice stick noodles with mushrooms. So let me show you the picture. Ooh, my onion. Rice stick noodles. So this is real simple. If you have a kid like I do who cannot appreciate complicated recipes, like simple ingredients, but with flavor that everyone can tolerate, but not too much for the little one, this is perfect because it uses the sesame oil, sesame seeds. You can have the hot sauce or not have the hot sauce. And the mushrooms, just like tofu or zucchini, you can make them taste just like anything. And they can serve as your protein for those of us who like to get a little bite when we have meat-free recipes to make us feel better about not eating meat. The shiitake mushrooms are going to give you that nice, hearty, meaty texture that you're going to be looking for. So, like I said, this recipe book I love. Here's another one from his legumes and vegetables chapter. And I mean, for peas, I think there are like 5 or 6 pea recipes. He even has fricassee of lima beans. You know, if you're really bored with jardine of vegetables, black pepper honeyed carrots, now I want to try that. Because we usually just have honeyed carrots, so having the black pepper I think will be really nice. Potato and carrot puree, see what I'm saying? Carrot pioli, leeks vinaigrette, and this is just a vegetable. So can you imagine? And then he goes into the shellfish, and there's mussels in here. I don't know what happened, something fell over somewhere. Mussels and hot sauce. So I know my son definitely would like mussels and hot sauce. There is also, what else was there one? Baked clams with bread crust. He gets really into it. So, and if you're bored, eggs in a spinach nest. Then my dessert page looks just as darling. Desserts. Just as, I love it, love it, love it. Gratin crepes, gratin of crepes Suzette. Orange Bavarian cream. Blueberry crisp, which is still blueberry season. Well, blueberries are kind of faded. They're fading out, but you can find some around Florida for a little while. Blueberry tart. Bananas Foster with ice cream. Come on. Slap it out, Jesus. Slap the taste out. Grapefruits and strawberries with dried fruit. Lemon cake delice, lime mousse with blueberries. You guys, this is my book. I love this book. I love this book. So let's make this really simple recipe. You saw at the beginning we put the noodles in the water, so they have separated. I love these rice noodles. Look how quick that was. I just had to boil water. So we're gonna do some onions. So I didn't even cut the onions yet. So I'm gonna do them real quick while I wait for my pan to heat up here. So we're gonna have some chopped onions. So I'm gonna just chop up an onion here. All right. So we're gonna use sesame oil. So all of this, and sesame oil, if you have it in a recipe, it is definitely going to make or break a recipe. If you don't have it, forget it. You've lost the whole essence of this recipe. That this oil is gonna do it. So we put the sesame oil in, and we're gonna get our onions in here. That's it. As soon as you smell the sesame and the onions, you know, when they really start cooking, that's all I need. So I'm gonna get some salt in there, a little bit of salt, because we got these noodles, so they're gonna take up a lot of our flavor here. So we just wanna cook these because we're just trying to help add some flavor to this oil as well. This base sauce and the mushrooms are what is gonna really add to the flavor of this recipe. And there is really no substitute for sesame oil, especially the flavor. You just really need to use the sesame oil. It really plays out. You'll lose it, and it won't have that kind of Asian flair to it, the recipe. But I also like this because this is a quickie. Like came home from work and you have to cook and you don't want to deal with everything. And he even says in the book, always keep a pack of those noodles, and they last for a little while. So I think you get about a month out of them in the package like that. So, you know, when you start saying, uh-oh, my time's almost up, let me cook these. That's when you can just go ahead and cook them. So just give our onions a few minutes here. And if you really want to have a nice hearty dish, you can add more of the vegetables, add more mushrooms, and add more onions and things like that. So now I'm going to add some garlic to that. And you can do the crushed or diced garlic, manipulated garlic, about 5 cloves. Now the recipe says for me to use a 1/3 cup of olive oil. So let me tell you, usually he wants you to do the olive oil prior to the sesame, but I like the flavor that the sesame gives you, and I like when you get that oil start roasting and roasting those vegetables. So that's how I did it, because I like that flavor. And I don't want to burn my garlic, so I'm going to be quick here. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the sesame to this, because now I'm going to come in and put my mushrooms in. Right? And the mushrooms, they are going to absorb all of this stuff that's going in here. I'm just going to give them another little dash of salt. And we just want these mushrooms to cook and absorb some of this flavored oil and get a little tender so they're nice and meaty. That's what I like about these. They're like meaty. Do you like them too like that? Yeah, because they're give you that meat feeling. And And they're really good to use as a substitute for ground beef. You know, you can grind them up and use them instead of ground beef and stuff. You can use these. And I like, if I do that, I'll mix these shiitake with a little bit of portobello, like half and half. So I get that little different textures in there. So that's what a lot of this is. This is a lot of mind game here. So I'm going to take these out of the water because we want these to be a little bit kind of dry, start to air dry a little bit. Okay. Now, if you want to, you could add sriracha or hot sauce to this flavor. I don't want to. But what I am going to do, because I had some left over from another recipe, is I have a little bit of pepper. So I'm just going to just get a little bit of this pepper, and I'm not going to de-seed it or take the white out. Just getting a little bit. And I sliced it really thin, so it's about not even a fourth of a teaspoon, just to give me some pop for my flavor. I just sliced it really thin. Remember, these things are always up for interpretation. But I like he gave, me an idea for a quick weeknight meal, or something. If I wanted to make this more fancy for guests or something like that, I could add more vegetables to it and really tighten it up. And I don't ever think that meat is just going to be good in here. I think the mushrooms and the noodles work enough. They're enough for each other. So I've got this going. So I let my noodles start to kind of taste the air a little bit, dry out just a little bit. And I'm going to add the noodles while I'm making a mess. Just do that. Told you guys, that's that Rachel Ray. She's going to get me one day. Hey, Z, I am not messy. Okay, girl. I just would love to see those in between takes, right? So I'm going to kind of toss this in. Quick and simple. I love it, Jacques. And it smells good. That sesame oil. So I'm telling you guys that using that sesame oil like right at the beginning, those are I'm eating it, so. And then I think I'm just, because the noodles are in here, add another little dash of salt, because we added our own salt to this recipe. We didn't let anybody add it for us. That's another thing I like about whole food cooking. All that processed stuff. And plate it. Isn't it? Doesn't it smell good? And then they say, add some flat leaf parsley. Sure, I'm going to use this parsley. I love this stuff. Maybe they'll see me doing this with this and give me a little plug or something. How's that? You see me? It's cool because it's dehydrated. And it's the stuff, and you don't have to worry about wasting stuff. Because how many times have you let a bunch of parsley go bad? And we don't think about putting it on our food every day, but it really does add bulk. Some nutritional value, yes, you have to use a lot, but it still helps. And makes the dish look pretty. But you can, given enough of it, you can actually taste it. So, I mean, that is our dish. And it was quick, it was simple, just like he said, right?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to taste it. So, Quick and Simple by Jacques Pépin. Definitely recommend it. It was a delight. Get the book. I don't know what else to say. And I hope that you continue to join us every month for the cooking classes. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to see everybody in person for sure. But if you're in downtown Leesburg, make sure you come and check me out at the Kitchen Cooking School. You can find me on, I'm on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's called The Roman Gourmet Z Carter. One day videos will be on there, more videos. I also have a channel called Succeed at Failing, which is really cool because there's a lot of different stuff, and I just talk about different things that we think that we failed at for the day, but we were just successful in failing, and that's okay. You can try again. And Facebook, The Roman Gourmet Z Carter. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you eventually at the Leesburg Public Library. Thank you.